Welcome one, welcome all to another edition of TGPW, the Guerrilla Position Wrestling, the most unprofessional professional wrestling in Fire Pro Wrestling. And this is part 3 of TGPW presents Guerrilla Warfare 2022, and we are kicking things off with trios action in the ring right now. Glenn Danzig, Jerry Only, and Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein, the Misfits. And their opponents making their way to the ring. Introducing first, accompanied by Christy, Hemme, the team of Lance Rock and Jimmy Rave, the Rock and Rave Infection. And their partner, weighing 4,000 pounds of heavy metal, all caps when you say his name, Warhorse. And once again, I asked if you could like the video, leave a comment, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet already, so you receive notifications when the next episode of TGPW goes up on the YouTube channel. And if you missed any of the previous episodes of TGPW, there is a playlist containing all episodes of TGPW, plus there'll be a playlist containing all 3 parts of TGPW Guerrilla Warfare. Those will be available in a link at the end of the video. Not only that, but I'll put an iCard in here as well with a link to the playlists. A double drop kick there by Rock and Rave of the Rock and Rave Infection. We saw Rock and Rave Infection team up with Warhorse last month at Fate of Fire Pro in a losing effort, however, as they lost to the team of the Alpha Males of Power and Glory, Monty Brown, Hercules, and Paul Roma, with Slick in their corner. We will see the Alpha Males of Power and Glory later on in this show in another trios matchup. The Misfits made their debut as a trio in November at Mass Hysteria Part 1, Things That Take Bumps in the Night, when Danzig, Doyle, and Jerry Only defeated the team of Beast Mode, Dan the Beast Severn, Beast Man, and the Super Beast. So this is their second match as a team here in TGPW, looking for their second victory in a row. Danzig, however, has appeared twice before that in TGPW. In fact, he was on the very first show in February 2021 at Guerrilla Warfare 2021. Our first ever show. It was in a singles match against the man he's in the ring with right now, Warhorse. A match in which Warhorse won. They would then meet the next month in March at Tag Team Madness in a tag match where Warhorse would team with Thunder Horse, and a victory over Danzig and Zandig. So the equestrian rulers of Ass defeating Danzig meets Zandig in that match. And those losses have not been forgotten by Danzig, and that is why this match has come to pass here, where Danzig, teaming with his compatriots in the Misfits, it's Warhorse and his friends, the Rock and Rave Infection. There's the Rave Clash in just a 1 count as Jerry Only is able to kick out. One thing the Misfits are going to have to worry about is Christy Hemme at ringside. There's a surfboard stretch by Jimmy Rave on Jerry Only, as he tags in his brother Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein. Jimmy off the ropes, hits the running knee strike, and follows it up with a drop kick. Doyle goes up top, hits a double stomp from the top. Goes behind, but a Pele kick by Rave stuns Doyle. And here comes the big man, Lance Rock. Rock just throws Doyle out of the ring. And let's not forget, Doyle is not a small man by any means. By the way, this is TGPW Guerrilla Warfare 2022, celebrating the 1-year anniversary of TGPW. Yes, it's been 1 year of TGPW, and if you're a longtime viewer, been watching the entire year, or a new viewer, I want to thank you. And I hope you enjoy TGPW. Whether you're an old fan or a new fan. Jerry Only in there now, going to work against Warhorse, has him up in the military press and slams him down. Rather, that was the Guerrilla press slam at Guerrilla Warfare. The Guerrilla Position Wrestling, how about that? Back and forth they go, rolling elbow from the Warhorse, takes down Only. And now, the repeated chops. And he takes a moment to headbang, does the Warhorse. Tag is made to Danzig, Jerry, and Glenn. Double suplex. Warhorse to the outside. He's greeted by Doyle and Danzig. Now he's got the sharpshooter on Danzig on the outside. Meanwhile, Rock and Rave in there with Jerry Only, 2-on-1. There's a full Nelson slam on Jerry Only, courtesy of Lance Rock. Warhorse is in a lot of trouble. He's got to get back in the ring. He does, narrowly avoiding a count out there. It's the standing sliced bread on Danzig as he tags in Lance Rock. Spike powerbomb by Rock and Warhorse. Danzig tags in Doyle. Doyle just got chokeslammed by Lance Rock, who then shoots him into the corner. What's he thinking here? He may be going for the blackout. That's indeed what he's going for. Blackout on Doyle, center of the ring. 2 and 3. He got him. Warhorse and the Rock and Rave Infection pick up the win in this trios match as Warhorse continues to have Danzig's number. We are ready for match number 2 here in part 3 of Guerrilla Warfare, and it is a singles contest. Introducing first, representing Stover's Skyscrapers, he is the host of the Stover Load podcast. It is Mike Stover. And his opponent making her way to the ring, it is Riho. So Riho was last seen in TGPW at And Then There Was X way back in May of 2021. She's looking for her first win in TGPW. Meanwhile, the host of the Stover Load podcast, Mike Stover, comes into this match with a 2-3 singles record. Stover coming off a loss to Kayvon Journey at Emerald Dawn when he failed to capture the Open Talk Championship. And Stover get on track. Can Stover get back on track with a win here and break even? Or will Riho pick up her first W in TGPW? Of course, Riho, another one that competed in the very first Guerrilla Warfare event, our very first show back in February 2021. She came up short in a three-way elimination match, losing to Hangman Adam Page. But she did manage to eliminate Jon Moxley in that match, as it was Hangman Adam Page, Riho, and Jon Moxley in a three-way elimination match. Stover has that armbar applied with the head scissor as well. And now he suplexes Riho out of the ring. Riho, the former AEW Women's Champion, just got slammed on the floor, courtesy of Stover. Stover, of course, the leader, the manager, if you will, of the Stover Skyscrapers. Leaping enziguri by Stover. But a drop toe hold from Riho. Back and forth now, trading shots. Riho with that drop kick takes down Stover and goes to the chin lock. You will see Stover's Skyscrapers later on in this show in a trios match. They were victorious back in January at Fate of Fire Pro when they knocked off the DWC's team of Kayvon Journey, Jason Powell, and Coco T. Ware. Stover and his Skyscrapers also victorious back in November at Mass Hysteria Part 3, Endless Pain or Endless Pleasure, when Stover, along with the Skyscrapers, me and Mark, Dan Spivey, Dangerous Dan, and Sid Vicious defeated Warhorse and the Super Machines, Super Swink, Super Martez, and Super Handsome Machine. Or Machines. Pinning combination by Riho, nearly got 3, but a kick out at 2.9 from Stover. But again, Stover a 2-3 record in singles matches. I'd like to get even here and go to 3-3. Where Riho is yet to win a match here in TGPW. Here we go, the Three Amigos by Riho. Stover back to his feet first, but he is clearly dazed, but comes back with a series of knees to the midsection of Riho. Riho shoots him off, hits a drop toe hold. The crowd is seemingly behind Riho here. She's got the face lock applied, center of the ring. Nowhere for Stover to go. Stover unwilling to give up. Now in the crossface. But again, Stover does not tap. Shoots her off the ropes. Hits the shoulder tackle. Hangman's neckbreaker. Is that it? 2.9 kick out, says referee. 2 count Lou Tefano. Riho with the double stop off the ropes. Takes him down with the head scissor. Into the pinning combination, 2 and 3. She got him. Riho picking up her first win in TGPW as she knocks off Mike Stover. Match 3 is a grudge match, and it is set for one fall. Introducing first, making his way to the ring from Bucksnort, Tennessee. He's a member of the SGC. He is the Southern Psycho. Lariats and light beers. It is Old Mance Warner. And his opponent making his way to the ring. Representing Blood Runs Cold. This is Glacier. As I mentioned, this is a grudge match. Mance Warner took the TWS SHIT Shoot Fight Hardcore Invitational title from Glacier at Mass Hysteria. He would knock Glacier out, I believe, in round 3 of that fight. Glacier would avenge that loss, beating Old Mancer in a singles match last month at Emerald Dawn. These two having their rubber match here at Guerrilla Warfare. A special stipulation has been made and agreed to by both competitors. 100 cases of light beer will be backstage. If Mance Warner wins, Glacier has to pay for all 100 cases, and Old Mancer gets to drink them in Glacier's hotel room. If Glacier wins, Mance has to pay for all 100 cases, and Glacier gets to pour every can out onto the parking lot while Old Mancer watches. So, more than just pride on the line here in this rubber match. There's light beer on the line, baby. Either Mancer's going to get to drink a lot of light beer and Glacier's going to have to pay for it, or he's going to have to watch a lot of light beer go to waste and have to pay for it. That was a headbutt right there from Mancer. As I mentioned in the introduction, Mance Warner, a member of the SGC, easy for me to say, second gear crew. There's a cover and just a 1 count. There's an eye poke from the eye poke god, Old Mancer, the Southern Psycho. Lariats and light beers. There's a pendulum backbreaker from Old Mancer. When he and the SGC have been at war with Glacier and his group, which includes Lady Frost, Avalanche, Earthquake, and the Shark, NATO. To the top now goes Glacier, looking for that diving back elbow, but Mance Warner avoiding the contact there. And that may have cost Glacier. That may have been the opening that Mancer needed. Hitting a series of headbutts, but Glacier comes back, drop hold, drops the leg across the neck. There's a karate kick. Is that it? 2 and no. Mance Warner out at 2. He is now sent into the corner turnbuckle. Glacier comes running in and hits that spinning heel kick in the corner. Glacier, of course, proficient at those kicks. DDT from Old Mancer. And now a headbutt. We've seen Mancer use those headbutts throughout this contest. And there's a DDT from Glacier. Catches the foot, but gets caught with the enziguri. Does Mancer, courtesy of Glacier. The crowd doesn't particularly like Mance Warner here for some reason. I don't know why that is, but is that judo-like throw and a karate kick, and that could be it. No, Mance Warner Out again, but no, another chronic kick. Is this it? 2 and no! Mance Warner again showing his resiliency, kicking out after back-to-back chronic kicks, and there's that headbutt again. Wait a minute, caught him by surprise. Roll up center of the ring. No! That may have been it right there. Could have caught him napping with that roll up, but no. Mance Warner out at 2.9. Loading up for another headbutt. This one to the back of the head of Glacier. But a chronic kick out of nowhere. And that may do it. But no. Mance Warner again out at 2. Hits a DDT. Goes for a cover. Somehow that was a rope break. I guess Glacier had his foot on the rope. It seemed like a rope break to me, but a choke slam by Manser sets him up. A running knee strike. To the top goes Glacier. Now he hits the elbow he was looking for earlier off the top. Went for a drop kick, no one home. Northern Light suplex with a bridge. Did he get him? No. Warner out at 2. He gets caught with a chop coming in off the ropes from Glacier, who hits the pose. And now straighting strikes here. Rolling elbow by Manser, but a chronic kick out of nowhere from Glacier. Back and forth these two are going. Series of punches. A little flip-flop and fly. Bionic elbow. The bionic elbow from Manser. Manser telling Glacier to get back to his feet. Glacier, though, in a daze. Gets DDT'd. Is that it? No. 2.9 kick out. Several near falls in this one. There's that heel kick again out of the corner. Glacier again with a diving back elbow. From the top. Overhand chop, but a Glacier throws Manser to the outside. Keep in mind there is a 20 count on the floor. Mance Warner grabs a steel chair. Gets back in the ring. Swing that chair wildly, but misses. Glacier with a DDT. Warner was out on his feet momentarily, but gets a DDT of his own. You know what they say, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. A rake to the eyes. But a straight punch to the face from Glacier. And an eye poke. And here we go with the punches from Manser. And from the trailer park in Bucksnort, Tennessee. Sweeping the leg is Glacier. And now a dragon screw. Tilt-a-whirl slam. Caught him coming off the ropes, but Manser fires back with a headbutt. And now another headbutt. But a drop toe hold from Glacier. Glacier with a leg drop off the ropes. Shot to the chest from Manser. Back and forth we go here as Glacier drop kicks the knee of Mance Warner. Caught him with that enziguri. Takes a moment to pose. And then hits a drop kick. Right now it's all Glacier as he sets him up on the top rope, and it's a dragon screw off the top rope. That was absolutely vicious. But Warner with a rake to the eyes. He misses the lariat though. Clubbing blow to the back. Glacier shoots him off. Hits him with a palm strike coming in. There's a soccer kick to the back. Oh, a kick to the chest. And a shot from Mance Warner. Super kick from Glacier. And another chronic kick. And that could be it. Center of the ring. Nowhere to go. And that is finally it. Glacier wins this war of attrition over Mance Warner. And it looks like, well, all that beer is going to go to waste. We are ready for match number 4 here. It is a trios matchup. Introducing first, accompanied to the ring by Slick. It is the team of Hercules and Paul Roma, Power and Glory, the alpha male Monty Brown. Together they are the alpha males of power and glory. And their opponents making their way to the ring, accompanied by the host of the Stoverload podcast, Mike Stover. It is the team of Mean Mark Callous, Dangerous Dan Spivey, and Sid Vicious. It is Stover's Skyscrapers. Mean Mark, the alpha male Monty Brown starting this one off. You saw Mike Stover in the second match of this show. He's back out here again, this time in a managerial role. Hopefully his team fares better than he did in his singles match, as he lost to Riho earlier in the show. Paul Roma is tagged in now. But I was discussing this earlier when talking about the Stover and the Skyscrapers. The Skyscrapers coming off a trios victory at Fate of Fire Pro over the DWC, K-Vod, Jason Powell, and Coco T. On that same show, I was talking about this earlier, we're talking about Warhorse and Rock and Rave Infection. Alpha Males of Power and Glory were also victorious in a trios match over Warhorse and Rock and Rave Infection. And now these two teams will face each other in this trios match, as both teams are looking to get a win here, as Sid Vicious just suplexed Paul Roma from the apron to inside the ring. I mean, this man is sometimes called Psycho Sid Vicious, so you never know what he's going to do. As Dangerous Dan Spivey's in there, hits an atomic drop on Paul Roma. Pretty Paul Roma, he's known to be called in some circles. I guess he would be the glory of Power and Glory, where Hercules would be the power. But Paul Roma, a tag team specialist throughout his wrestling career. Spivey tags in Sid. Back and forth go the alpha male and Sid. DDT. Sid drops the leg. Rolls him over, goes for a cover. 2. And alpha male kicks out at 2. Sid taking it to all 3 members of the alpha males of Power and Glory on his own here. Double drop kick by Roma and the alpha male, as Mean Mark is in there. He just bowled him over. That shoulder tackle. Slick on the apron now. Pardon me. Slick was on the apron there, providing a distraction, and there's a cover and just a 2 count. Wait a minute. Tombstone pile driver by Mean Mark Callous. That reminds me of somebody else. Uh-oh, Roma in trouble. Gets caught by Dan Spivey, holding him in open for that attack from Mark Callous. Mean Mark with that submission again, but again broken up. by Hercules. Roma with the drop kick. And now a power bomb. All impact right there. Spivey trying to choke him out now. And they just sandwiched Sid Vicious with that double team lariat, did Alpha Male Monty Brown and Hercules. Hercules also a tag team wrestler in Japan. He used to be tag team partners with Scott Norton in Japan. They were a tag team known as the Jurassic Powers in Japan. Now Hercules with that chokehold applied, but Slick was on the apron distracting 2-count Lou. You saw the claw hold by Callous, but nevertheless, Hercules with the cover on Spivey, but it's quickly broken up. There's that crossface hold that Sid used to win the last trios match Skyscrapers won. But seeing as how he was the illegal participant in this match, that does not count and would not have counted had he got a tap out. Fall away slam by the Alpha Male, but Callous back to his feet quickly. And again with that claw hold. The massive hand of Mean Mark Callous covering the entire face practically of Monty Brown, who hits that shoulder tackle, showing off his football background. Leaping lariat by Mean Mark. Mean Mark loading him up. Nope. Avoiding the contact is Monty Brown as he tags out to Hercules. Hercules from behind. No, counter by Spivey. No, counter by Hercules. Right to the eyes of Spivey, then a lariat. Goes for the cover, 2, and no. Spivey got the shoulder up. There's a T-bone suplex by Monty Brown on Mean Mark. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ring, Hangman's neckbreaker on Spivey. He delayed hanging vertical suplex by Paul Roma to Spivey, and then he hits the drop kick. Spivey with a shot just drops Roma. It's caught with that back elbow. Here comes Hercules. Hercules with that power slam. Spivey fights him off and makes a well-advised tag to Mean Mark. As Mark and Spivey double suplex Hercules to the outside. As he kicks Sid in the gonads on the outside, gets back in the ring. But walks right into the claw, and Slick is on the apron again, providing a distraction. Who knows if we would have seen a tap out there. It's hard to say with the interference from Slick. Spike powerbomb. Callous just waiting on the Alpha Male, who runs right into that lariat. Or walks right into it almost, I should say. Yes, Sid is the legal man. I was about to say, I believe Sid is the legal man. Yes, he is. Takes a moment to look around. Hits a choke slam. 2, did he get him? 3, he does. Power and Glory could not get there in time. Sid pins the alpha male, and the Skyscrapers are 2-0. All right, we are ready for our next matchup. This is match number 5. Making his way to the ring, he is the leader of the Circus of Slime, El Jefe, if you will, Gran Blanco Presentadora. And he will be defending the Ultimo Hombre Campeonato, a unrecognized championship here in TGPW and TWS. And, well, his opponent tonight is Gillberg. Yes, Gillberg. Once again, more ridiculousness from the Circus of Slime here. Wait a minute, I'm getting word backstage that Gillberg has been laid out. There's a dressing room door over Gillberg, and this is supposed to be Gillberg. Wait a minute, that's not Gillberg, folks. That's Goldberg. Goldberg is here. Goldberg is going to face Gran Blanco. Oh my God, this is justice right here, folks. It seems like TGPW officials had enough of the ridiculousness of Circus of Slime. They brought in Goldberg. He's clearly the one who got rid of Gillberg. And now he's going to face Gran Blanco here in this match. And we may finally see Gran Blanco get his comeuppance, as we've had to deal with almost an entire calendar year of this guy's underhanded, cheap tactics. And this man created a championship for himself and is naming his own challengers. Bunch of farcical challengers. I mean, he had the Zombie from ECW. The Zombie is one of his challengers. Then he defends the title in a tag match last month against Corporal Kirchner and Super Leather. And then he was supposed to wrestle Gillberg here. But it looks like TGPW officials finally had enough, put their foot down. Brought in Goldberg here. He took out Gillberg backstage before this match could begin. And now he's in there with a real competitor in Goldberg. Goldberg with the spear. But Gran Blanco back to his feet. He absorbed that spear from Goldberg. Repeated shoulder thrusts in the corner from Goldberg. Goldberg thrown into the corner, using his posterior as a weapon. There was Gran Blanco. Gran Blanco, by the way, sporting his colors of the Guatemalan flag on a singlet. Double underhook suplex. Now, Gran Blanco, by the way, likes to tell a tale of him actually ending Goldberg's famous undefeated streak in his home country of Guatemala. And there's the jackhammer. Is that it? 2 and no. Kick out at 2 out of the jackhammer from Gran Blanco. Gran Blanco, like I said, claims that he beat Goldberg's unbeaten streak and that it went unrecognized because it happened in Guatemala. Well, now here's his chance to put his money where his mouth is. That military press into the spine buster from Goldberg. Goldberg went to the top for a second. Mexican stretch. That Mexican stretch on Goldberg. Like I said, no one saw it. There seems to be no video evidence of this match between Goldberg and Gran Blanco existing. So I question the validity of his claim. We'll see if he can put his money where his mouth is, like I said. And so far, he's hung in there with Goldberg. Gets caught with that spear. Into the corner turnbuckle he goes. And now those punches unloading is Goldberg. Goldberg with a spear. Is that it? 2. And no. Again, the shoulder up from Gran Blanco. Gran Blanco back to that Mexican stretch. Referee asking. No. Oh, now he's got the chair. He's going to try to get Goldberg disqualified here. Come on, ref. Thankfully, referee 2 count Lou Tufano not falling for that BS. 3 Amigos sends Goldberg to the floor. Now he's mocking the fans as Gran Blanco. As 2 count Lou begins his count. Goldberg back in the ring at 5. And now they're trading shots here. Goldberg with a lariat. Gran Blanco with a lariat of his own. Both men go down. Goldberg, the first man back to his feet. Military press. And just slams him down. Backdrop suplex by Goldberg. Rake to the eyes. Goldberg again with the military press. Just throwing Gran Blanco around. He throws him with that suplex. That's a massive humanity there. He has him up. Another jackhammer. Hooks the leg, but the ropes are right there to save Gran Blanco. Blanco into shoulder tackle. And again, taunting the fans. That neckbreaker by Goldberg. Is that it? No. Gran Blanco at it too. Goldberg thrown to the floor. Gran Blanco meets him out there, hits a series of European uppercuts. And now he's got the Mexican stretch on him on the floor out there. That's not going to win the match, but it will weaken Goldberg. You saw Gran Blanco grab a hold of a kendo stick. Didn't get to use it, though. Big boot is blocked. But Goldberg with a scoop and a slam. Oh, now he's applied this leg lock. And now here we go. The 3 Amigos sets him up perfectly for that butt out of the corner, sitting on his chest. Is that it? 3, and he got him. You've got to be kidding me. Gran Blanco just beat Goldberg. Ugh, I'm disgusted. I gotta go. After that ridiculousness, we are back here with another trios match. This is match number 6. I still can't get over the fact that Gran Blanco beat frickin' Goldberg. Well, here is Very Nice, Very Evil. It is the team of Danhausen, Suicide, and Mortis. And their opponents making their way to the ring. It is the team of Billy Gunn, Austin Gunn, and Colton Gunn. The Gun Club. They do not want to be referred to as Billy Ass and the Ass Boys. So do not call them Billy Ass and the Ass Boys. I repeat, not Billy Ass and the Ass Boys. Well, here is Danhausen starting this one off with Billy Gunn, not Billy Ass. The Billy Ass and the Ass Boys, excuse me, the Gun Club were last seen in September at T3, that Trios Tournament 2021 in September. They went deep into the tournament, winning their opening round match over SGC, and then winning their quarterfinal matchup in a classic match against the Alliance to End Steve, Cody James, Chris Miller, and Metalhead, for falling in the semifinals to the Circus of Slime team. Ugh, I cannot escape this man. El Gran Blanco. Let me try that again. El Gran Blanco Presentadora, Michael Brennan and Pagano. And now the Gun Club is back here in TGPW. They are here in particular to deal with Danhausen, as they do not like the fact that Danhausen repeatedly refers to them as Billy Ass and the Ass Boys. Speaking of the Ass Boys, there they are with a double suplex. I mean, Austin and Colton, the Gun Club. There's a double suplex from Suicide and Mortis. Which, by the way, we saw Suicide in Mortis back in November at Mass Hysteria Part 3, Endless Pain or Endless Pleasure, when they teamed up with Danhausen, along with Coco T. Ware, to form Very Nice, Very Evil, Very Kayfabe, the People's Band, as they were victorious in an Atomicos match over the Order of the Neo-Solar Spectral Envoy, Ultramantis, Black Hollow, Wicked Frightmare, and Delirious. So Danhausen teaming with Mortis and Suicide again here in this trios match. Brawling on the outside, Suicide and Austin, I believe. Yes. Continuing to brawl on the floor. Uh-oh. Mortis has got to get back in. He nearly got counted out there. This is the fourth appearance for Danhausen. First time we saw him was way back at Summer Sizzler Series 3 in July, Blood, Red, White, and Blue, in which he and Warhausen would lose the first round matchup in the TGPW Tag Team Title Tournament to the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff. Again, they were in the aforementioned Atomicos match at Mass Hysteria. And then Danhausen's last appearance was in January, part of the Honor Never Dies event, the ROH Tribute Show, in which he would lose a four-corner survival match to Dalton Castle, and a match that also included Matt Sydal and Delirious. There's a famouser by Austin, goes for the cover, and a 2.9 kick out from Suicide, as Colton and Billy in a double suplex on Mortis. Fireman's carry takeover by Suicide. Suicide to the top rope. It's a missile drop kick. And now he makes the tag to Danhausen. In comes Billy Gunn. Or Billy Ass, if you prefer, the patriarch of the Ass family. Oh. Now, I hope that the Gun Club don't listen to this commentary afterwards, because Billy Gunn is a very big man and could probably beat me very badly. But Nevertheless, DDT from Billy on a Danhausen. Danhausen going to work now on the former Mr. Ass. And now it holds him open for his son, but nothing doing there. Sidewinder right there. Sorry, that was the quick draw, not the Sidewinder. The Sidewinder was the tag team move that Billy did with his brother Bart in the Smoking Guns. There we go. That was indeed the quick draw. But Colton in there hits a flying head scissor, does suicide on Colton gun. Drop kick from Colton as he tags in Billy. Formerly one half of Billy and Chuck. Ironman's carry takeover on the man that was once tag team partners with the Big Show. Yes, the Shoguns. Never forget the Shoguns, folks. Double suplex sends Billy to the outside. Wait a minute, Danhausen just grabbed a chair. But Billy with the gunslinger on the floor. But Danhausen comes back. Danhausen with the Ushigoroshi. Billy back in the ring at 12. Mortis escaped from that attempted slam. Hits the Canyon Cutter. Goes to the cover. No. Benjamin has him up on the shoulders, electric chair, face first slam. But the gunslinger in the center of the ring from Billy as he tags out to his son, Austin. Swinging neckbreaker by Mortis. Follows it up with an elbow drop. Mortis and Suicide, the legal participants. Super kick from Suicide. Is that it? No! Kick out at 2.9 by Austin Gunn. Gorilla press slam by Billy. With the kamikaze by Suicide. Kind of an appropriate move for a guy named Suicide, huh? Famouser by Austin. Is that it? No. Quickly broken up. Drop kick caught him off the ropes at Suicide, but he is in the wrong part of town. Gets caught by Colton in that corner, allowing Austin to hit the drop kick. Here's a hip toss. I thought maybe he was going for the quick draw again, but no. Fireman's carry takeover by Suicide. He wisely tags out to Mortis. Here comes Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn, one half of the Voodoo Kin Mafia with BG James in TNA Wrestling. Help me, they're in my house! The gunslinger on Suicide. Meanwhile, outside the ring, we've got Colton and Mortis. I believe Mortis is legal. Mortis just got thrown into the safety rail. Mortis with an F5. Mortis gets back in at 17. Again, risking count out again. And another gorilla press slam by the man formerly known as Cute Kip and the Beautiful People. Planted him face first into the canvas, and here comes Danhausen as there's another Canyon Cutter. Billy with a shoulder tackle. As here comes Austin Gunn. The shoulder tackle of his own. Austin Gunn gets suplexed all the way out to the floor. He is dazed. Colton throws Suicide out. Austin back in there now with Danhausen. They trade strikes. Drop kick by Danhausen. But Austin comes back with a series of punches. Snap suplex by Austin. There's an elbow. But wait a minute. Oh, I thought maybe he was going for good Nighthausen. Nope. Ushigoroshi instead as he tags in Mortis. Headlock and a series of punches from Danhausen. Snap mare now. The diving elbow off the top from Mortis. Onto Austin. Pile driver by Mortis. Just stuffed him there. Austin in trouble, gets hit with a flatliner, but does manage to make a tag to his brother. Austin and Colton ass with a double suplex, sending Mortis to the outside. Danhausen is dancing in the middle of the... He's dancing in the ring. I don't know why. But now everyone is out here. Triple team beat down by the Gun Club on Danhausen. Vertical suplex, double vertical suplex on Suicide. They slam Mortis on the floor. Mortis again gets back in the ring at 14. This is about the third time he has narrowly been counted out in this contest. The Gun Club seemingly had this game plan of getting Mortis outside the ring, isolating him from the rest of his team, and going to work on him. Nice standing switch reversal. Schoolboy roll-up nearly caught Danhausen. Danhausen, too much showboating, too much dancing, not paying attention to what was going on there, and Colton nearly got him there. Danhausen needs to pay attention to what's going on in the match, worry less about dancing and appealing to the crowd. European uppercuts in the corner by the eccentric Danhausen, I guess is a nice way of putting it. Suplexes Danhausen to the outside. Another way to split it is the guy's a weirdo. He collects teeth. Of course, I shouldn't say that too loud. He's been known to curse people, so he might curse me. Now, it's either I have the Gun Club mad at me or I have Danhausen putting a curse on me, so I can't win either way. When it comes to this match. Swinging neck breaker. And now a tag is made to Suicide. Suicide started off as a video game character in the TNA Impact video game, before he came to life as a real-life wrestler in TNA. The Cradle DDT from Danhausen setting him up for a missile dropkick from Suicide. Austin Gunn, you could see rolling on the mat, holding his neck in pain after that move, but has managed to hit a drop kick on Suicide. In comes Colton. Suicide with that sunset bomb. I forget what he calls it. Look at that leapfrog by Suicide, but they clonk heads. Both men back to their feet. The kamikaze by Suicide. And hits the pose before following it up with a drop kick on Austin. And that may be it. That was the quick draw. Did he get him? And he did. Unbelievable. The Gun Club pick up the win over Very Nice, Very Evil. This trios contest. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our next matchup. This is match number 7. And what a match it is. Ladies and gentlemen, making his long-awaited return to TGPW, it is the spooky specter himself, the ghost of the Macho Man Randy Savage. What up, Mach? And his opponent making his way to the ring to be accompanied by Chelsea Green. It is Alwayz Ready, Matt Cardona. Here we go with this special one fall singles contest. The Macho Ghost versus Matt Cardona. The Ghost of the Macho Man Randy Savage, as I mentioned, making his long-awaited return to TGPW, as Macho Ghost was last seen at Who Ate Your Cereal way back in June of 2021. Matt Cardona has been trying to provoke Macho Ghost for months now. Since Cardona hasn't come to SPF Infinity, the Macho Ghost will have to come to TGPW. That's why he's here just in time for the first anniversary celebration of TGPW here at Guerrilla Warfare 2022. This is part 3 of 3. And Macho Ghost and Cardona here going at it. Cardona, a known associate of The Miz, John Morrison, a.k.a. Johnny Drip Drip, and Dolph Ziggler, who we saw on the other parts of this Guerrilla Warfare event. Part 1, we saw The Miz and Dolph Ziggler team up. They were victorious over the Thunder Buddies team of Jesus Thunder Liger and Thunder Rosa. In part 2, we saw John Morrison, Johnny Drip Drip, and a match against Marty Drip Drip. The Battle of the Drip Drips, in which John Morrison, Johnny Drip Drip, whatever you want to call him, with Taya in his corner, was victorious over Marty Drip Drip, who had Jade in his corner. And now we see Matt Cardona, the 4th member of this group. And now off the top, oh my God, a critical. And just like that, this match is over. Matt Cardona gets knocked the F out by Macho Ghost with one flying elbow from the top. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It is now time for our semi-main event of the evening in part 3 of TGPW Guerrilla Warfare 2022. It has all come down to this. Making his way to the ring, it is the Captain, Steve Ahrendt. You see Steve Ahrendt soaking in the adulation from this crowd here tonight. And it's finally going to happen, folks. He's finally going to get his hands on this man. Here he comes. And look at this. He's begging him off already. He doesn't want any part of this fight. It's Windy City AC, Antuwan Clemons. He has no one to hide behind anymore. No more members of the TATES. And if he refused this match, he would be fined $500,000. And I think he was protesting the fact that he has to fight this match. But again, as I said, TGPW officials warned him if he refused this matchup, he would be fined $500,000. And you know how much Antoine cares about his pocketbook and money. And who knows if he even has the $500,000, to be honest, to pay that fine. But Steve managed to beat both White Phenom and Aaron Xavier as per the stipulation after beating White Phenom and Aaron Xavier, he finally gets his hands on Antuwan Clemons here in this one-on-one matchup. We saw in part one, he defeated the White Phenom emphatically in a no DQ match, and then beat Aaron Xavier in a 2 out of 3 falls cage match. 2 straight falls to none, leaving no doubt in anyone's mind. And he is like a man possessed right now, as this is the last of the alliance to end Steve to be destroyed. The alliance to end Steve has been a thorn in Steve Ahrendt's side since the very beginning of TGPW, dating back to our very first show at Guerrilla Warfare 2021 in February of 2021. So this has been 1 year in the making, this match. When he found out an alliance had been formed, we thought at the time the leader of that alliance was the evil genius Aaron Xavier. We came to find out in June at My Own Summer after the steel cage match, Aaron Xavier revealed that there was someone else behind the alliance to end Steve, and it was Windy City AC Antuwan Clemons. He was the puppet master pulling all the strings. And after Steve would eliminate members of the alliance, Antuwan and Aaron would bring in new members of the alliance in CNC Destruction, Chris Miller, Cody James, and Metalhead, until Steve ran through all of them one by one, and then finally vanquishing them for good in January at Fate of Fire Pro. And there he hits the spear, and that could be it. 2, and no. Kick out at 2 by Antuwan, surprisingly. I thought the match would be over just like that, but no. Antuwan still has a little bit of fight left in him. And he rakes the eyes. But as I was saying, Steve in the Sideshow at Fate of Fire Pro in January, beating CNC Destruction and Metalhead in a Loser Leaves Town match. Or Loser Leaves TGPW match, that is. So they're out of here. And again, as I said, he defeated White Phenom and Aaron Xavier, eliminating them from the equation. A little flip-flop and fly. Bionic elbow, if you will. So there's no one left for Antuwan to hide behind. And there is the sushi roll on Antuwan. But Antuwan with a rake to the eyes. Fights back with punches, but gets thrown to the floor. Antuwan rolls into the ring as Steve is posing for the fans. And now throws Steve to the outside. And the fans boo as Steve grabs a chair. Before he can use it, though, Antuwan fights back and pokes him in the eyes. And again pokes him in the eyes. Now goes for a cover and just a 1. And there's a low blow as the fans approve. I mean, it's Antuwan Clemons. No one likes Antuwan Clemons. I don't even think the people that he employs like this man, but let me tell you, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. So the low blow. And look at this, the punches have no effect. Steve Ahrendts, he's firing up here as he's feeding off the energy of the Steve-a-maniacs here. And Antuwan Clemons, by the way, purchasing the trademark to the name Fish Sticks a Mania. Steve neglected to trademark the name, so Antuwan did so. But there's a spear, and that could be it. And it is. And that is the end of Antuwan Clemons, and that is the end of the alliance to end Steve, as Steve triumphs over TATS once and for all. But There's something going on in the entrance ramp. Some music is playing. What's going on here? That's the king of the indie ring, Richard Atkinson. What's he doing here? And there's the queen of the scene, Heather Joy. You think Antuwan... What? No. The true top dogs. No. A secret weapon? What are they talking about? Someone Steve's never beaten in his career. Who could that possibly be? What are they talking about? Top Jimmy! Top Jimmy is here, folks, and Steve looks like he's seen a ghost. What's going to happen next? All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It is now time for our main event of the evening, and it is a three-way elimination match for the TGPW Championship. Go Shiozaki defending the title against former champion Keiji Muto and number one contender Battle JR, who immediately digs the fork into the neck of Shiozaki, busting him wide open. And Shiozaki is already busted open. That fork to the forehead, the top of the head of Muto now. A splash from Battle JR. A cradle pile driver from Muto. And a went for one maybe on Battle JR, but he counters out with a backdrop. And in the opening few minutes of this match, Shiozaki already busted open, gets poked in the eye, and again poked in the eye. Double drop kick by Muto and Shiozaki. Dragon Screw leg whip on JR. You have to wonder if Shiozaki still feeling the effects of that match with Abdullah the Butcher, where he was busted open by Butcher in that match. And maybe that's why he was quickly opened up by JR in this one. But JR with a giant swing. Shiozaki defended the championship successfully twice in the month of January. He dominated Myron Reed and overcame Abdullah the Butcher. Battle JR earned a championship match by virtue of his win-loss record. Returning from injury after the events of Frozen Steel, he has decided to challenge Shiozaki for the title at Guerrilla Warfare. It was at Frozen Steel he took on Marty Drip Drip in an exploding barbed wire death match. The ring exploded, and Marty Drip Drip was the last man standing. JR was not completely out. So he took the entire month of January off to recuperate from that match. But he decided to invoke his right to challenge for the title, Guerrilla Warfare. Meanwhile, Keiji Muto has invoked his rematch for the TGPW Championship of Guerrilla Warfare as well, as Muto lost the title at Frozen Steel in December in a steel cage match to Shiozaki. TGPW officials decided to book this elimination three-way match for the championship. So the question is, can Shiozaki fend off two challengers at once? You can see the blood of Shiozaki staining the canvas, and it looks like Muto has also been busted open. And there's that fork again from JR. Drop kick by Muto, knee drop by Shiozaki. And now biting the man is Battle JR. Pokes him in the eyes. Now goes to work. That sleeper hold. Spinning back chop setting him up for the going lariat. No. Rope break saves Battle JR potentially from being eliminated there. There's the backbreaker. But Shiozaki takes him down and works on the arm. There's a kick between the nether regions and a splash from Battle JR. Here it comes. Going lariat. This time no rope break, but Battle JR saved by Muto there for some reason. I don't know why Muto's breaking up pins here in an elimination match. German suplex with a release. The only theory I might have is that maybe Muto wants to get rid of Shiozaki first, potentially. So he feels like he's a bigger threat than JR. Or maybe just Muto simply wants to eliminate JR himself. You know, the man does have an ego. So much of an ego that he surrounded himself with other versions of himself in the Muto-verse. Young Muto, Great Muta, Bad Blood. Rather than forming an alliance with other wrestlers, he decided to form an alliance with himself. Seemingly, the man feels like he can trust no one but himself. It's a figure four leg lock on JR. But JR comes back with a giant swing. Suplex sends Muto to the floor, and now thrown to the outside is JR. JR grabs a chair, then throws a chair at Muto. They are fighting on the outside here. They get back in. Gowan lariat, and that could be it. No, Muto again breaks up the pin. I don't understand the reasoning, the logic. By God, there's a stunner. They are trying to get him disqualified, but that's not going to work as there are no disqualifications in this match. Poked him in the eyes, right into the Shining Wizard from Muto. JR trying to stab him in the, or jab him rather, with that steel chair. Leg hook, Fisherman, Buster. Muto uncharacteristically goes to the top, hits a missile drop kick. JR again with the fork. Area to the back of the head of JR, and now a chop to the chest. Low blow from JR, but a German suplex with a release. Folding battle JR in half. Mule kick by JR. He grabs the chair again. Wait a minute. Go Flasher out of the chair on JR. But can't follow up as now he's in a battle with Muto. Muto gets the better of that exchange. Hits the Shining Wizard on JR. But now JR with the fork again. There's a Boston Crab, and it looks like... What? Yeah. Referee called for the bell there. Moonsault off the top gets two, and Muto has been eliminated off the Boston Crab. And we are down to two, and look out. Gowan Lariat, critical. He is out like a light, folks. And JR may be hurt. And there you have it. Go Shiozaki with the Boston Crab submitting Kijimuto, or forcing Kijimuto to submit, rather, eliminating him from the match. Shortly thereafter, follows it up with that critical Gowan Lariat on JR. And the 3 count was just academic at that point, because JR was knocked out by that Gowan Lariat. A vicious lariat from Shiozaki got the 3 count as he eliminates both of his challengers. en route to retaining the TGPW Championship. And what a way to end part 3 of TGPW Guerrilla Warfare 2021, celebrating the 1-year anniversary of TGPW. And I want to thank everyone for watching the show. I want to thank everyone for being a part of 1 year of TGPW, the Guerrilla Position Wrestling, the most unprofessional professional wrestling, and Fire Pro Wrestling. And if you have not yet, like this video, leave a comment if you will, share it, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet, so you can get notified when the next episode of TGPW drops on the YouTube channel. And I, of course, have been your host, The Swink. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next one.